Husband found out what wife does during online fitness class. Hi there, welcome to Reddit Goat channel. Today we are going to have another unbelievable cheating story. But before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our daily cheating stories. So before 7 a.m. this morning I thought I had a perfect life. I have a gorgeous, intelligent, hard-working wife, a beautiful 1-year-old daughter. We have all been so lucky in the last year forcing us to reprioritize, and I thought we were better off for it. My wife got laid off from her corporate job last year and she started off just doing very low-quality home workouts on YouTube, which started to get a slow following. The videos got much better, and out of the blue a nationwide gym chain took notice and got in touch to ask if she'd like to host some online classes for them. She said yes, and before we knew it, with the combination of YouTube and the gym, she was making 75% of her corporate salary working 15 hours a week and basically being a som, what she's always wanted to do. Her being able to focus on our daughter meant I could accept a more challenging position at work, and overnight my salary nearly doubled and we were doing awesome. Last month I decided to finally get started on our taxes and noticed that she had about $3,000 in PayPal payments that didn't have any notes or anything. I asked her what that was about and she said the gym was trying out a new payment system and she was part of the beta test. I said no matter what, we needed to pay stubs for taxes. She said she would see how they meant to handle that. I honestly let it slip when the IRS extended taxes by a month. I decided I needed to do taxes for real this weekend and noticed again that she had about $7,000 more from this same PayPal address. Its name is like Fitness Executives Limited, so it didn't raise any flags, but I also noticed her paychecks are being deposited to her checking account. I asked her if she had the pay stubs from the PayPal payments and she got insanely defensive and basically said it was none of my business where her money is coming from. I tried to calmly tell her that it is my business and we need to report $10,000 in income or we are going to be in serious trouble. She accused me of always being a controlling asshole, with her reaction going from 0 to 500 miles per hour in 1 second. I decided now was not the time to talk about it. She took our daughter to her mom's house and told me she'd be back when I wasn't being such an asshole. She wasn't home at like 10, so I called her mom to see if she was there. Her mom said she told her we'd had a fight and she was checking into a hotel room and Kyler was spending the night there. I asked her if she knew what was going on and if I needed to come pick up Kyler. Her mom said no, but wife was in near hysterics saying that she'd never messed up this bad, but Kyler was asleep and fine. So I called my wife, but her phone was off, so I tried to chill as best I could. At like 6 a.m. she came in the door and said we really need to talk. She confessed stuff I never went to repeat, but the short version of the story is that one of her regulars in the online fitness class is a well-off widower and my wife reminds him of his wife. They started off staying in the fitness room talking, but slowly he started hosting private Zoom meetings, not Zoom but just using that, since everyone knows what I mean. He started sending her PayPal money for her time, but over the sessions his requests became more and more sexual and the money just kept going up. She says before she even knew what was happening she was basically having video sex with him and being paid for it. I feel like my life is shattered. I see her sitting in the next room as I type this and she looks like a stranger. She's begging me to forgive her and says the situation just got away from her. She says she understands this is cheating but it never got physical, and she rationalized that was better than being physical. I'm so lost I don't even know what to ask her. What should I tell her? What do I demand of her? Can we go on? I'm so lost I need some way to gather my thoughts. We basically had an absolutely silent Sunday after she confessed to everything because I honestly didn't know what to say to her. So much of what bothered me is that I now knew her price on what it would take to ruin our family. And it was this guy paying $500 an hour for Zoom sex. It seemed so low. I know that sounds sick, but it was my thinking at the moment. She cried the whole day, and I mean the entire day. I thought she was going to become sick and she cried so much. The only thing we said to each other was whether or not we would leave our daughter with her mom or bring her home. I said I wanted to see her. So we drove silently over to her mom's house and picked up our 1-year-old. We both tried to put on a happy face for our daughter, but even at 1, she knew there was tension in the air. I slept in our guest room, but Monday I wanted answers. I tried to be calm, but I said she owed me some explanations. I'm going to be sick typing this out, but this is her side of the story. The guy in his 70s, very lonely, and my wife reminds him of his wife who passed away 2 years ago. He lives in the Chicago area, we don't, and they started talking over the fitness room chat. That turned into keeping the classes going for private talk where they got to know each other. They then met on another chat service and the conversations just got more and more intimate and then sexual, then basically virtual sex. He insisted on paying her, but there was never an agreed upon amount. But when the first PayPal was $500, she decided it was easy money and would help make up for losing her job. I asked her what about me and what about our daughter. She said our daughter was always at her mom's house, as usual when she would teach her classes, and she said she was able to rationalize that he was older, virtual, and she would still never cheat on me in real life. I asked her if she knew what it sounded like. She said no. I said it was rationalizing her cheating. She said she knew, but she will always see this as different because there was nothing physical. I asked to see her phone to see messages between them. They used a Signal, and all were there. He was very nice and most of his messages were, "Can you confirm the PayPal went through?" her saying yes. So most of the talking was done via the chat room. I asked her if this made her feel like a prostitute, and she said she tried not to think about it. I said I felt like she was a prostitute, and she started crying, and then I felt really bad. We gave it a break and talked later, and basically I told her I could probably get past this in time, but she has to cut it off with this guy. She asked how I wanted her to do it, and I said that was up to her. She said she would signal him first, then have the gym remove him from her class. I said I don't know what I wanted from her, but she has to be available for anything, like therapy, talking to a pastor, each of us getting individual therapy, separation, exploring options with lawyers. She agreed. Nothing is fixed and we have a long road ahead of us. Here's the second story. My wife, 35F, and I, 37M, have been married for 12 years. We have 3 kids, and I always had this nagging feeling that our middle child wasn't mine. Our oldest and youngest look just like me, but my middle child doesn't. My wife has shown me a picture of her grandfather and he does look a lot like him, but he just doesn't have any of my family features. He looks so different than anyone else in the family. I decided I wanted a paternity test to put my mind at ease. My wife got pretty upset when I brought it up because cheating has always been a deal breaker for her, but I just saw that as all the more reason to get one done. I told her that if she had nothing to hide, she should have no problem with getting one done. I tested my son and it turns out he's mine. I thought everything was fine, and I had my peace of mind. Except she told me she was going to take the kids and go to her parents for a while. When I asked why, she exploded and told me that she was seriously considering divorcing me over this stunt. That she was furious with me for doubting her loyalty to me, knowing how she felt about cheating, and that she would never forgive me for what I put our son through, making him question his place in the family. I tried to get her to see my side, that I just wanted to be sure, and that surely she could see why I'd question it when he looks nothing like me. She told me she would never forgive me for this, and that I hoped my foolish pride was worth the cost of my family. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.